The second game night. Second game show of the night. We'll get started in about a minute or two. Real quick, I do want to apologize for being late. I am in the middle of a move and had a slight hiccup with who I was meeting up with between. I was getting rid of some items and they were a little bit late, but you know, things happen, it's life. But I'm back. We're getting started in about 1 minute. Apologies on that. Oops. Some people come in. Make sure we're all good to go. All set up. All right. Hey, Trinity and Chloe, is this the last live tonight? No, we have one more. This one's just getting started. We haven't even started playing yet. Hey, Chloe, welcome. Yeah, we're going to do the balloon game. We're just getting set up. Welcome, welcome. Sorry, I was just reading up on making sure I was caught up and everything was set up. This one's just getting started, and then we have one more tonight. Ah, no problem, Trinity. I will be streaming again tomorrow. We're going to go ahead and get started. You might be able to for the last. Awesome. Hey, Richard. Welcome. Welcome. All right, we're going to play Guess That Balloon. The first person to correctly guess what I am making within 2 guesses will get a point on the scoreboard. You guys have 2 guesses to keep it fair for new and old players. First person to guess what I'm making. We'll get a point on the scoreboard. Hey, Bronny. Welcome back, Bronny. Playing Guess That Balloon. You guys have 2 guesses. Hey, Baronator. I did get a haircut. Uber Foober. Welcome. Guys, we're playing Guess That Balloon. You have 2 guesses per player per balloon. It's not a turtle. Oh. I would have loved you cut your hair. Oh, you would have loved to cut my hair? I just been buzzing it most of my life. Snake is correct. Snake is correct. Bronny, I thought you would be disappointed when you saw my haircut, considering I just chopped it all off and I know you're a barber. Snake is correct. Let me see who the first person on my screen who said Snake was. All right, first person on my screen who said Snake was Richard Green. All right, Richard, welcome to the scoreboard. As a former champion, you do enter as pink or red. All right, continuing on to another round of Guess That Balloon. No judgment zone. If you like it, I love it. Awesome. All barbers cut differently. That's fair. That's fair. Moving on to another round of Guess That Balloon. The first person to correctly guess what I'm making within 2 guesses. You guys are allowed 2 guesses. Gets a point on the scoreboard. 1 guess per comment. As many comments as you would like. Yeah, it's just easier because I can do it myself. I can do it fast. I can do it at home. I save a lot of time and money. Just been doing it most of my life. Just shaving it off. It's also 90 degrees all week, so it's good timing. Just come back from boot camp. Swan is correct. Definitely hot on the East Coast as well. Yeah, it's hot where I am. Yeah, out here in Chicago. Swan would be correct. Who's the first person on my screen? Saves money. That's how you got started cutting hair. Fair enough, dude. Fair enough. First person on my screen who said Swan would be Richard Green. Richard, you're at 2. Yeah, I think I've actually only gotten 4 or 5 haircuts. I think I've only gotten 4 haircuts in my adult life. Most of the times I just buzz it. Just buzz it. Got a lot of stuff to do. I don't always want to go wait in line and pay money, and especially every few months, I'd rather just buzz it and keep going. How was my break? Yeah, it was good. Got to see family. It was good overall. Long car ride, about 6 hours, I think, but overall it was pretty good. Enjoyable. Yeah. You cut your own also? Awesome. 18 degrees Celsius here in the UK. I have no clue how. What is that in Fahrenheit? Sorry, I'll get back to the game in 1 second. 64. All right, we got about 90 degrees Fahrenheit here. We're moving on to another round of Guess That Balloon. First person to correctly guess what I'm making. Within 2 guesses, we'll get a point on the scoreboard. You didn't know what to do with yourself? I am back. First person to correctly guess sword would be correct. Hey, welcome back, Meg. Don't worry, I'm back for a long while. I don't think I'll be taking another break until I move, which I'm not 100% sure what that when that'll be. First person on my screen who said sword would be Javier. Meg, they were a close second. I should be streaming hopefully 6 days a week. Hopefully 6 days a week until I leave. All right. Moving on to another round of Guess That Balloon. First person to correct, so guess what I'm making. We'll get a point on the scoreboard. You were so lost you got in your car and drove around town at like 10 at night. I love driving. I really like road trips and driving, especially alone. It can be pretty meditative to just drive. It's very soothing. I love road trips. Oh, this is fun. Good. First person to correctly guess that I'm making within 2 guesses. We'll get a point on the scoreboard. Play another round of Guess That Balloon. With no plan of where to go. I had a fun thing that I did once with a friend a long time ago. Him and I were bored, so we got in my car and we started driving, and we came up with a game where every time we got to an intersection, we would flip a coin to decide whether to go left or right. It was like tails we go left, heads we go right. And if we dropped it, we just kept going forward, and we ended up getting like a county away. Yeah, that's what we did for fun. It was kind of interesting. We went in a couple circles, but 2 guesses per balloon. I'm only counting your first 2 guesses. Going to the beach this weekend, Bronny. That sounds awesome. Yeah, Meg, it is fun. It was super fun. Sword is correct. I made another sword, just a different design. Throw you guys off a little bit. All right, first person on my screen who said sword. Oh, you're gonna do that now, Baronator. It's fun. Tails left, heads right. If you drop it, just keep going forward. It's super fun. Starry, welcome to the live game show. Oh, that's Dollar, isn't it? Or is that not Dollar? Very similar profile picture. First person on my screen who said sword would be Javier. Wait, yeah. Oh, I realize that's Richard on the scoreboard. My apologies. Gotta add you, Javier. Welcome to the scoreboard. As a former champion, you are entered in as red. Hey, Starry, welcome to the live game show where I host and keep score. You play by commenting. Moving on to another round of Guess That Balloon. The first person to correctly guess. Whoever subbed, this firework is for you. so sorry. I think I ended up like 3 states north. Oh. Spontaneous road trips, I think was Mega was saying that, they are very fun. Even when you don't even have direction, if they could just, just be fun to just go. What is that? We are playing another round. I guess that balloon. First person to correctly guess what I am making. We'll get a points on the scoreboard. Up to only 2 guesses per player. Per balloon. Not a mouse. That is a good guess. Dog would be correct. First person on my screen who said dog would be Meg. Let me add you to the scoreboard. Meg, welcome to the scoreboard. And of course, as a former champion, you do enter as red. Moving on to another round. Thank you. You're welcome. Thanks for playing. Moving on to another round of Guess That Balloon. First person to correctly guess what I am making. We'll get a point on the scoreboard. Colors do not matter because the regulars are too good. Richard, that sounds like an awesome adventure. I really want to go on a bike tour sometime. Bike tour's on my bucket list. I was actually gonna go for a few months this year, and then I had other things that come up, so I wasn't able to. Oh, that wasn't supposed to rip. Now was it? No, it wasn't. So it's decapitated. I will live stream the ride. Whoopsies. We're going to go ahead and start a new round. I'm going to make a different one. I was thinking about live streaming my next hitchhiking adventure, but some people say it's dangerous. Not that it's already dangerous. I was debating it. I don't know if I would do it. Moving on to another round, I guess that balloon. First person to correctly guess what I'm making within 2 guesses. We'll get a point on the scoreboard. You'll watch a hitchhiking stream. Guys, there's a lot. Some people don't realize how long I'm on the side of the road. I hitchhiked 1,000 miles through the desert this year. Earlier, like a few months ago. There was one point where I was just on the sidewalk side of the road, sitting on my backpack for 8 hours in like 90-degree weather the entire time. So I guess, I could just talk to you guys while I'm doing it, which would be kind of cool and be entertaining. And then I'd just randomly have to get off and get in a stranger's car and end the live stream. You guys would just be hoping I'll start another one, and if I don't, oh well. Oh well, meaning like it didn't go good. Hey, Mike Tones, welcome back. Who was the first person to say gun? It isn't the peace and tranquility you get. It's something you can't get in. Yeah. I agree, Richard. That's why I like to backpack. There is a lot of peace and tranquility, too, for backpacking. Gun would be correct. That is a point from Mike Tones. Mike, I'm going to add you to the scoreboard. Welcome back. Welcome to the scoreboard. And as a former champion, of course, you were entered in as red. Well, Meg, I have survived the 10,000 plus miles I've hitchhiked. I'm pretty cautious with it. do like to think I can take care of myself for the sheer fact that I'm still here. However, you never know what can happen out there. So I actually stopped recommending it to people just because it can be a little bit more dangerous than I had originally realized. I'm just a pretty cautious person, and I stopped recommending hitchhiking to people just because of how dangerous it can be. I actually even had I had a young woman pick me up last year when I was hitchhiking to Canada. And I was like 26 at the time. She was like 21. She picked me up, and I told her never to pick up a hitchhiker. It is not another sword. I told her not to pick up another hitchhiker just because she was so young. And I've met a lot of the crowd. I mean, most people are fine, but there are some that are not. Moving on to another round of... She says get out. That would be awful. Like, hey, you shouldn't pick up hitchhikers. She's just like, get out. That would be awful. Oh, my God. Moving on to another round of Guess That Balloon. First person to correct. So guess what I'm making within 2 guesses. I'm going to point on the scoreboard. That would be funny, Barinator. That's cracking me up. I didn't even think about that. That would... Yo, Mike Jones, welcome. Yeah, exactly, Baron. That's what I kind of meant earlier when I was like, I would just randomly have to get off the live stream just when I get in their car. And I've been on the phone with people while I was hitchhiking before. And I'm like, I'd tell them, like, all right, guys, somebody just pulled up. I got to go. Bye. And it gives some of them anxiety. Camel was correct, or is correct. Yeah, Richard, I appreciate that. Yeah, I agree. Safe is all that matters. First person to say camel was Javier. You know, I'll be honest. Hitchhiking truly is one of my favorite things to do. Because, yeah, weirdly enough, I know growing up, a lot of people say don't talk to strangers. Definitely don't get in a stranger's car if somebody offers you candy. But as an adult, you don't even have to offer me candy. I'll hop in your car. I don't even know who you are. I'll drive across the country with you. It's one of my favorite things to do. It's ironic. It truly is fun. But I've gotten well over 200 rides from strangers, and it really restored my faith in humanity because there are so many kind people out there. And you really see that when you're hitchhiking. And out of the 200 plus rides, I only had about 2 that went not the best, but overall they were still, yeah, I'd just say 2 bad rides out of 200. 3 bad rides out of 200. Yeah, I agree. Most people are good. And you do definitely meet interesting people. All right. Ooh. I agree, James. Best way to get to know people. Also, it's very authentic, too, because most of the times I don't exchange information with people. Most of the time. Sometimes I do. I have made friends doing it. And it's really cool to hear these perspectives from these other people, knowing that we're just never going to see each other again. And so people can be very open about a lot of things, and it's very, very cool. I would actually say the last hitchhiking journey I took was one of the best ones I ever took because of the amount of people that I learned. All right, guys, this is an animal with a huge neck. I don't think giraffe is correct. Richard, trust is hard. I also struggle with trust as well, which is really surprising considering I like to get in strangers' cars. Who's the first person to say giraffe? That would be Richard Green. 4. Alan, welcome to this live game show where I host and keep score. You play by commenting. We played a bunch of different games. All right. First person to correctly guess what I am making within 2 guesses will get a point on the scoreboard. My budget's Baronier's more on hand tools. I really like to work on my bicycles, and those tools are thankfully really cheap. Alright, first person to correctly guess what I have made will get a point on the scoreboard. Snake would be correct, that is point for Javier. We're going to move on to the next game. Javier, you're at... Oh, that's Richard. Javier, you're at 3. Alright. We're going to play Blurt. Blurt is a fan favorite. Blurt is where I read the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person to tell me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out to the players. The first definition: something that plants, animals, or people eat or take in to keep them alive and help them grow. The second definition: a small sealed container with chemicals inside it that makes or stores electricity. Food is correct, so there's a point for Meg. Battery is correct. That is a point for Javier. You're at 4, Meg, you're at 2. Mike Tones 1, Richard Green 4. Moving on to another round of Blurt. Blurt is where I read the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person to tell me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out to the players. The first definition: the sense by which one can notice the flavor of something placed in the mouth. The second definition: a smooth fabric that is shiny on one side. Taste would be correct. That is a point for Meg. Bronny, you're a close second. Satin is correct. A smooth fabric that is shiny on one side. First person on my screen who said satin. Oh, Meg, you're the only one. You're at 4. Moving on to another round of Blurt. Blurt is where I read the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person to tell me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out to the players. The first definition: the sound a cat makes. The second definition: a short letter or message. Meow is correct. That's a point for Meg. Ronnie, I love how you just put a cat emoji. Note is correct. That is a point for Javier. Javier and Meg, you're both at 5. Alexander, welcome to this live game show where I host and keep score. You play by commenting. Moving on to another round of Blurt, where I read the dictionary definition for your meow turned into a cat. That's rough. Well, it's okay. Meg still had it first, but that's funny. Moving on to another round of Blurt, where I read the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person to tell me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out to the players. You're allowed 1 comment, or 1 guess per comment, as many comments as you would like. The first definition: a narrow strip of fabric used for decorating or tying things. The second definition: a group of people called together by a sheriff to help capture an outlaw. Baronator, have you hitchhiked before? Gone for like 4 weeks. You could be gone for a while. First definition, repeated: a narrow strip of fabric used for decorating or tying things. The second definition: a group of people called together by a sheriff to help capture an outlaw. Oh, snap, Baronator. Awesome. Ribbon would be correct for the first one. Oh, Baronator, I'm so curious about that. Nobody has the second one yet. Ribbon was correct for the first one. I'm going to go back and see who the first person who said ribbon was. Meg was the first person. Alright, I'll put 10 seconds on the clock after I read it one more time. A group of people called together by a sheriff to help capture an outlaw. This is also a slang, it's a slang term for a group of friends as well. Posse is correct. Posse. What is it? Point for Baronator. Baronator, welcome to the scoreboard. And as a former champion, you are entering the scoreboard as red. From east to west? Like, what country are you in? Or, like, where? Did you go from the east coast to the west coast? This is awesome. Alexander, I'm glad you're liking the game. We're going to move on to another round of Blurt. Awesome. East coast to west coast. Are you in the USA? Moving on to another round of Blurt, where I read the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person to tell me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out to the players. Whoever subbed, this firework is for you. The first definition, an untrue statement made by someone who knows that it is untrue. The second definition, an instrument with a sharp blade that is used to shave hair. You hardly trust your bus driver these days. That's funny. Lie is correct. Razor is correct. Let me catch up with the chat for a second. East Coast to West Coast from California. Yeah, that's quite. I've my longest trip was 2,000 miles. Well, 4,000 miles. It was technically 2,000 miles, kind of twice back to back. But I've done 4 trips that were 2,000 miles each. But one of them was just like 2 weeks apart. First person on my screen who said lie was Mike Jones. First person on my screen who said razor was Javier. Yeah, actually this year I officially hit 10,000 miles hitchhiked. It's super fun. Yeah, you definitely need a good amount of time to be able to hitchhike, especially because you don't know how long it's going to take. I might be taking a break for a while after the one I did this spring. By the way, Richard, it was very funny your comment about not even trusting your bus driver. Moving on to another round of Blurt, where I read the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person to tell me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out to the players. The first definition, a loss of memory caused by a shock, a brain injury, or an illness. The second definition, any of a group of cold-blooded animals that creep or crawl on the ground, have a backbone, and are covered with scales or bony plates. Oh, Richard, that would be fun. I have not dollar. Amnesia is correct. That is a point for Brawny. Reptiles is correct. That is another point for Brawny. James, you were a close second. Baronator, I have a question. What was... Oh. Brawny, welcome to the scoreboard. Welcome. As a former champion. You're, of course, entered in as pink. Baronator, what was the longest you've ever waited for a ride? What was the longest you've ever waited on the side of a road for a ride? Mine was 26 hours. 26 hours was the longest I ever had to wait. The fastest was minus 40 minutes. 2 days, yeah. Sometimes you really gotta wait. 26 hours was wild. Moving on to another round of Blurt. Blurt, where I read the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person to tell me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out to the players. Jaden, welcome back. Yeah, 2 days is wild. It happens. Blurt. The first definition: a cloth covering for the foot reaching no higher than the knee. The second definition: one of many kinds of reptiles that lived millions of years ago. Sock is correct. That's a point for Javier. Dinosaur is correct. I do have to go back and see who said it first. That is a point for Javier. Javier, you're at 8. Wow, this is... Give me 1 second to fix the scoreboard a little bit. There we go. Moving on to another round of Blurt, where I read the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person to tell me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. The first definition: a device that consists of 2 small telescopes joined together and that is used to make distant objects seem closer and larger. The second definition: the soft material that is inside the hollow part of most bones. That's cool, it got picked up by a limo. Binoculars is correct. That point goes to Alan. Marrow is correct. That point goes to Bronny. Oh, wrong sound. Alright, I gotta add Alan to the scoreboard. Alan, welcome to the scoreboard. Give me 1 second, gotta make sure I spell your name right. Okay, that was pretty easy. Let me give you your point. Alan, it looks like this is your very first time earning a point on this game show, which means, congratulations, I will be entering your name into the Hall of Fame after the show. You're, I think, the 140th person to earn a point on this game show. So everybody is entered into the Hall of Fame who earns a point. And we also have a Hall of Champion with currently 34 people in there. 1 person enters the Hall of Champion every single stream. 1 person enters who is not already in there. All of these red names, these are former champions who are already in there. Alan, you're the first person today to get a point, or this stream to get a point, who's not already in there. These streams are 2 hours long. We're half an hour in, which means you're also in the lead for entering the Hall of Champions with no competitors currently. That is not officially announced until an hour and 55 minutes into the stream, unless I had time. These are 2 hour long streams with a 5-minute break halfway. Yeah, Baroneer, I've exchanged contact information with with a few people, not too many, but a few people. It's been cool. I've definitely made some friends from hitchhiking. All right. Yes, Alan, you're in the lead for entering the Hall of Champions. Don't get too comfortable though, because that can change. Whoever just subbed, this fireworks for you. Moving on to another round of Blurt, where I read the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person to tell me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out to the players. The first definition: a classroom to which all the pupils in a class report in the morning. The second definition: the poison of certain snakes, spiders, or other creatures. Homeroom is correct, so that is a point for Javier. Oh. Wrong marker. Wrong marker. Venom is correct. That is a point for Bronny. Yeah, I'm still in contact with a few people that I've met. And text them once in a while too. I was actually once in a car. This was kind of goofy. I was once in a car with 4 people. None of the 4 of us were related. 3 of us had the same last name. Didn't understand the first question. Oh, sorry. It was, I'll reread it, but then we'll move on because they were answered. You call it registration? A classroom to which all the pupils in a class report in the morning. Yeah, so it must have been an American who made this game. Sorry about that, Richard. You call it registration? Well, did you say registration before somebody said homeroom? That was kind of crazy. Yeah, I do sometimes give 2 points out if some people, they're from a different country and it's called differently there. Sometimes I do have to be a little lenient. I know most of you are not in the United States where I currently am. We're going to play another round of Blurt. You didn't answer. It's okay. We're going to play another round of Blurt. Blurt is where I read the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person to tell me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out to the players. The first definition, a channel along the side of a street for carrying off water. The second definition, a wild pig with a thick coat of dark bristles. Boar is correct. There's not a trench, there's not a curb, a channel along the side of a street for carrying off water. Gutter is correct. Hey, Robert Hunley, welcome back. First person on my screen who said boar would be Ronnie. I do have to add. First person to say gutter was Robert Hunley. Robert Hunley, welcome back, Robert. High five. So, Robert, welcome to the scoreboard. As a former champion, you are entering the scoreboard as pink. Alan, you're still in the lead for entering the Hall of Champions. If you enter with 1 point, that'll be a first. I don't think you will, because we still have an hour and a half left, but... Alright, we're going to move on. We're going to move on to another round of Blurt. Blurt is where I read the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person to tell me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out to the players. The first definition, a doctor who treats people's teeth. The second definition, a dry region that is usually covered with sand and has few or no plants. Dentist is correct. That is a point for Meg. Bronny, I do. Desert is correct. That is a point for James. Hey, James M. Welcome back. And welcome to the scoreboard. And of course, as a James, I'm so confident. I'm so confident that you were a Hall of Champion, James. But now that I think about it, James, where did you? Now that I think about it, I think the match that David entered, you were a close second. You guys were like so close to each other. Not yet. That's what I thought. I remember you being so close, but I think David was the one who got in that. I remember you guys were so close. Yeah, I have it pulled up, so check it. Well, welcome to the scoreboard. Oop, wrong color. All right, Alan, you have a competitor, and that is James M. Oh, Bronny, no, that's Dollar. Nope, that's someone else. I thought you meant do I have another YouTube channel, which I do, and that's for hosting tutorials for my website for my game stuff. So I have another channel just to be able to host the videos. I thought that's what you meant because you bought the book and that's at the back of the book. But you've been singing that wrong for 20 years? All right, continuing on. We are going to catch up with that. Who's using my name? Dollar, D-A-H space L-E-R is using the name. We're going to play one more round of Blurt, and then we're going to switch up the games. Moving on to another round of Blurt, where I read the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person to tell me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Oh, Dollar, yep. Up to 2 points can be handed out to the players. I don't know what my name shows up on your screen, but it looks like that. It's highlighted. Up to 2 points can be given out to the players. The first definition, a thin line or narrow beam of light or other radiation. The second definition, someone who drives a car for pay. Welcome back, Baronator. Ray would be correct, so that is a point for Javier. Javier, you're at 10. You can all tell by the... Yeah. You guys don't have it. A someone who drives a car for pay. Chauffeur is correct. That is a point for Javier. You're at 11. Currently, we have Alan and James M. tied at 1 for entering all the champions. All right, we're going to switch up the game a little bit. We're going to switch up the game. Uh-oh, where did it go? All right. We are going to play Family Feud. We're going to play Family Feud. Oh, we already did that one. All right. Oh, no. Sorry, guys. I dropped this stack the other day and got them really confused on which ones I had already played. All right, we'll do this one. Hey, John, welcome back. What happened to my hair? I threw it away. Which is true. I buzzed it off. Oh, Baronator, awesome. Awesome. Hope you enjoyed the book. All right, guys, I'm going to catch up with the comments. Shannon, yep. My name is still Shannon. Gonna catch up with the comments a quick second, then we'll move on with Family Feud. Welcome back, John. Awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Baronator. Let me know, Baronator, I'm going to add your name to the Hall of Support since you bought the book. I appreciate that. All right, guys, we're going to move on to Family Feud. How Family Feud works is I'm going to have you guys name something. You're allowed one guess per comment, as many comments as you'd like, until I say done. This round of Family Feud, 6 points can be given out to you. You're allowed to rattle off as many things as you would like. There are 6 answers on here. If your answer is on here, you get a point as long as you're the first person to say it before I say done. You guys ready? Name something scary in a Halloween haunted house. So, name something scary in a Halloween haunted house. You're allowed as many guesses as you want. Sorry, John. Sometimes the chat is going so fast that I'll read what I currently see, scroll back a little bit, read a little bit. Name something scary in a Halloween haunted house. But yeah, John, I just buzzed it last night. I've been buzzing it most of my life. It's just easier to manage when I buzz it, and I can do it by myself. Let a few more answers come in. We're going to end it right there. I only accept the answers on my screen that are above when I said done. Going to the top. Also, real quick, I do not want to forget, real quick, before we move on, I do want to add Baronator to the Hall of Support. I appreciate that, Baronator. All right. Name something scary in a Halloween haunted house. Meg said ghost. Ghost is on here. That is a point for Meg. You're at 8. Skeleton is on here. That's a point for Bronny. 6. Clowns. Clowns is not on here. Ghost was already said. Chainsaw. Not on here. Scarecrow. Not on here. Zombie. Nope. bats, evil doctor, pumpkin, bats, rats, spiders, bee, noise, webs, blood, zombies, witches is on here. That is a point for Richard. Richard, you got 5. And that is all of them. Hey, Johnny Biz, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. We're going to move on to... Oops, sorry about that. We're going to move on to Tribon. Actually, yeah, we're going to move on to Tribon. We have about 10 minutes before the halftime break. Tribon is where I give you guys 3 things. The first person to tell me what these 3 things have in common will get a points on the scoreboard. First person to tell me what pear, peach, and oak have in common will get a points on the scoreboard. All right, Baronator, we'll see you in the second half. Tree is correct. That is point for Javier. Moving on to another round of Tribon. The first person to tell me what these 3 things have in common will get a point on the scoreboard. First person to tell me what nougats, pralines, and jujubes have in common will get a point on the scoreboard. Nougats, pralines, jujubes. I apologize if I pronounced everything wrong there. Candy is correct, apparently. I know, Meg. Sometimes I start reading before I look at the words, and don't know how to pronounce them, but I gotta go anyway because I started. Mike Tones got the point for candy. Good job, Mike. Mike, was that like a guess based off a couple of them, or are you familiar with all 3 of them? That's crazy. I would have never got that one. That was Snickers. Wait, a candy that wasn't even on here gave it to you? That's fair. That's funny. Oh my god. He's a candy expert. I would say so. That's funny. Moving on to another round of Tribon. The first person to tell me what these 3 things have in common. We'll get a point on the scoreboard. We have dog, pillow, water. Hey, Wyatt, welcome back. We are playing Tribon. The first person to tell me what these 3 things have in common will get a point on the scoreboard. We have dog, pillow, water. This is a weird one. It's not park. Pillow park sounds so funny. I was like, park could make sense. Dog park, water park, but pillow park is cracking me up, Mike. Oh man, this game makes my day. No, that was great. That was funny. No, you guys. Wow, bed would be a workable answer, but it's not on here. This is interesting. Fight is correct. Wyatt asked, am I a Marine? I am not. Pillow park where we can all go take naps. That is awesome. Oh my god, I love that. That is a great place for adults. I'm sure that needs to be what break rooms are at like offices and stuff. They just need pillow parks so we can take a little cat nap. Johnny, I told you I had to meet with somebody in between streams, so I was not able to check out your YouTube channel, and I can potentially check it out either tomorrow or in a couple days. I also have to meet with another person tomorrow morning, so I'm very, very busy while I'm in between moves. All right, who was the first person to say fight? I do have to go back. There's a lot of answers, so I do have to go back. Yes, I did get a haircut. No, I am not a Marine. I just like to keep it buzzed because it's easy. All right, it looks like Richard Green was the first person to say fight. Where are you, Richard? You're up on top with 6 points. Maybe my next business venture, open up some pillow parks. Oh, man. That's such a funny concept, a pillow park. People just go in and take naps. Do I work out a lot? It depends. I like to work out. I've been nursing an injury, so I've worked out very little in the last couple months compared to what I normally like to do because I have very injured body and sometimes I overdo it and I have to take some time off. But I do like to. Just it's good for my mental health. So I did do sports before. Moving on to another round of Tribon. The first person to tell me what these 3 things have in common will get a point on the scoreboard. Yes, Alan, I try to stream on a daily basis. The first person to tell me what core, crust, and mantle have in common will get a point on the scoreboard. Alan, I try to stream 6 days a week and typically multiple times a day as well. Earth is correct. They are layers of the Earth. First person on my screen who said Earth was Meg. Alright, I have to turn this AC off. I'm getting kind of a stuffy nose. I'm going to breathe through my mouth from it. It's getting kind of uncomfortable. That's off. That was right there. We have a couple minutes till the break. Moving on to another round of Tribond. The first person to tell me what these 3 things have in common will get a point on the scoreboard. Yeah, the AC's stuffing it up a little bit. It's blowing like literally right into my face. It happens. First person to tell me what Earth, book, and inch have in common will get a point on the scoreboard. Earth, book, and inch. Worm is correct. That is a point for James M. I do have to make sure I confirm that as well. All right, James, it looks like you're at 2 points, which means you are in the lead for entering the Hall of Champions. Moving on to another round of Tribon. The first person to tell me what these 3 things have in common will get a point on the scoreboard. We have squad car, patrol car, cruiser. Police would be correct. There are terms for police car, but I'll give it to police. Hey, Robo Trippin', welcome. First person on my screen who said police would be Richard Green. Moving on to another round of Tribon. The first person to tell me what these 3 things have in common will get a point on the scoreboard. Beijing, Shanghai, Canton. Robo Trippin', I'm doing good. I haven't seen you in a while. I think you were there one of the first times I streamed before I decided to start doing this for streaming, but I've turned this into a live game show where I host and keep score while you comment by playing. Good to see you back, though, Robo Trippin'. Kind of switched directions quite a bit, and I've been loving it. It's going good. Anastasia, welcome back. China is correct. They are cities in China. Anastasia, welcome to the scoreboard. Yeah, it's nice to see you too, Robo. Anastasia, I've seen you so many times. You've been around for quite a while. I was just seeing if you were on the Hall of Champions. It doesn't look like it, so you're going in as purple. Welcome back. Yeah, RoboTripping, what it is now is I am hosting an online game show where I host and keep score while you play by commenting. Anastasia, good to have you back. We're going to do one more round of Tribon, and we're going to go on the halftime break. One more round of Tribon. The first person to tell me what these three things have in common will go to points on the scoreboard. We have the cake, the rings, the vows. The cake, the rings, the vows. Wedding is correct. There are parts of the wedding. That is a point for Anastasia. All right, guys, we are 55 minutes into the stream. We have about an hour until the champion is announced. For now, we're going to start the 5-minute break. That means we are officially halfway through the second stream of the night. I was uncertain if I was going to do a third stream because I've been a little sick today and I have a headache. However, I am having a lot of fun, so I'm definitely going to be doing a third stream today. So how the break works is at the sound of the gong, the 5-minute break has started, and at the sound of the air horn, it's done, and I do keep a stopwatch with me so that way I can respect your guys' time. So I will be back in 5 minutes. The 5-minute break is starting now. Hey, it's Shannon. I host the games and keep score while you play them by commenting. If you would like to support the channel and enter the Hall of Supporters, my Cash App is Shannon1742. My PayPal and Venmo are mindfuldiscovery@yahoo.com. These should be pinned in the comments. If you are interested in any of the games played on this show or the props used, I have affiliate links in the description. I earn a commission for each product bought at no extra cost to you. Another way you could show support is by purchasing my book, Beyond Solitaire, 52 Unique One-Player Games. This is a book on learning the rules for 52 solitaire-type card games with various levels of difficulties, chance, and skill. I wrote detailed instructions for new and experienced players to be able to learn these games, along with setup pictures for examples. Beyond Solitaire, 52 Unique One-Player Games is available on Amazon as a paperback book and on the Kindle store. It is also enrolled in the Kindle Unlimited program. We have a minute left in the break. Who will enter the Hall of Champions tonight? The 3 key principles for this game show. We want to be fair, we want to have fun, and we want to be friendly. I personally want to thank this community and everyone in the Hall of Fame for helping develop this positive game show experience. All right. We're back. Johnny, please don't spam the chat too much. Just see your name on a wall. What is going on? We want to make sure that everybody can read the chat so we can play the game. So I especially need to make sure I can keep up with it. Hey, welcome back, though. All right, guys, we are going to continue on. The break is done, and I do like to start it off kind of slow with balloon art in a sense, just to let people come back from the break. All right, getting right back to it with balloon art. This is where you guys, it's called Guess That Balloon. The first person to tell me what I am making within 2 guesses will get a point on the scoreboard. Only 2 guesses are allowed per player, per balloon, for Guess That Balloon. Giraffe, that is your first guess. Not a sword, that is your last guess. Not a camel. One of my favorite things to make. There's a hint. Gun would be correct. That is a point for Richard. Richard, you're at 8 points. Well, Richard, I saw your comment right before I left, too. I appreciate it. But needing to take a break if I need to. I do have a headache and I'm a little sick, but I'm going to keep going because it's fun. I'm at home anyway. I mean, if it gets too bad, we'll see. But I'm good enough to keep going, you know. Might be going a little bit slower than I normally do, and I apologize if that's the case. However, we're going to keep going. We're going to keep having fun. We're going to keep playing games. Moving on to another round of Guess That Balloon. The first person to correctly guess what I am making will get a point on the scoreboard. There are 2 guesses per player per balloon. Awesome, Richard. I'm so glad you like it. Oh, yeah. Man, that snap is just... I got to stop letting go of that. Sometimes it hits the tip of my finger. It does not feel good. Not a giraffe, and that is your first guess. That is your first guess. Rich, I'm so glad you like it. We get a lot of regulars in, and it's so cool to see the community that we're building. You see a lot of, I mean, look how many champions we have on here. Not a sword. Oh, I did that bubble wrong. Got a lot of regular contestants coming back on this game show. And not a dog. Not a dog. Oh, technical difficulties. All right, let's fix. All right. Sorry, sometimes it's hard to hold it where you guys can see me doing it. Not a bear, guys. Not a bear. Close to a bear, but not a bear. Tiger or lion would have been correct. First person to say tiger or lion would be Mike Tones. That is correct. There's a point for Mike, I believe. Yep. Mike, you're at 4 points. For some reason, I got a pop-up saying chat disconnected. Please wait while we try to reconnect you. Successfully connected. Barrel the other way around, though. That's true. That's true. That's actually a common head. Looks like we're still going. That was a little bit of a technical difficulty. It looks like we're still in, though, so we're going to keep going. That is actually a common head for many balloon animals. So I think I only know like 2 or 3 of them, though, right now. Bronny's phone died. Oh, no. That happens to too many people out here. It's kind of funny. There was one time I didn't plug in my phone before the stream. I got done streaming and saw that my phone was on 6%. And I got lucky. Got lucky. Moving on to another round of Guess That Balloon. The first person to correctly guess what I'm making within 2 guesses will get a point on the scoreboard. How do you manage that? We had an hour break. B is correct. That is another point for Richard Green. We're going to do one more balloon, and then we're going to move on. Moving on to a round of Guess That Balloon. The first person to correctly guess what I'm making within 2 guesses will get a point on the scoreboard. Sure, you'd like password? Not a problem. Not a sword. Not a giraffe. Hey, Connor, welcome back. We're currently playing Guess That Balloon. You're only allowed 2 guesses per balloon per player. 2 guesses per balloon per player. Oh no, I can feel air is getting lost from one of the sections, and I don't even know which section, so I'm going to have to try to get it before the air completely goes. It popped. Bummer. I think I can still make it. Oh, wow. Struggling with these things today. That's rough. I'm going to draw the face, then you guys will get it. Oh, it's so bad from this side when it popped. That's funny. Shark is correct. That's funny. Password was correct. Requested. Let me go back and see who the first person to say shark was. That was Javier. Was it within his first 2 guesses? It was. That's a point for Javier. Javier, you're at 13. All right. We've got a lot of people back in right now. That's awesome. Awesome. This is why I like to do balloon art when we get back, just to let people come back from the break. We are going to play Password. This is where I give you guys clues and hints to my one-word password, and the first person to correctly guess without any typos, capitalization does not matter, will get a point on the scoreboard. You have to blank a building. You always have to blank something to exit. There's always exit signs, but there's... Oh, no, I guess sometimes there are blank signs. Usually one word or one door is for... It's going to be goofy. In some places, you blank in one door and you exit in another door. It is not exit, by the way. It's the opposite of exit. It's the opposite of exit. Enter would be correct. That is a point for Javier. Make sure you said it first. Javier, you are at 14. Wow, this is a tricky game to do with a headache. But it's I am always up for a challenge, so we're gonna keep going. That tricky one. Moving on to another round of password. The first person to correctly guess my one-word password based off the clues and the hints that I give without any typos will get a point on the scoreboard. When two people like each other, they will blank with each other. This is usually a very light-hearted, fun way. So it's the lightest and usually an entry level. Yep, flirt is correct. Elope. Kind of eloped in a sense. First person to say flirt would be Richard. Richard, you're at 10. A lot of people didn't find out I got married until after I got married. Moving on to another round of password. Password is already... I give you guys clues and hints to my one-word password. The first person to correctly spell it, to guess it and spell it right, without any typos, capitalization does not matter, we'll get a point on the scoreboard. Not a Vegas wedding? It was a Vegas wedding. It was. We hitchhiked from Tennessee to Las Vegas to get married, and then we stayed there for 10 days and we hitchhiked back. I'm not even joking. Yep, we did. That was earlier when I was saying I had two 2,000-mile trips back to back. It's because it was a little over 2,000 miles from Tennessee to Las Vegas. We were there for 10 days, and then right after we went back, and it was another 2,000 miles. Yeah, we went back to the Appalachian Trail. All right, moving on to password. First person to correctly guess it. You need this on your tires. If you lose this, it wasn't a waste of time, it was an adventure, Johnny. If you don't have tread on your tires because they're bald, you won't have much blank. This is also another word for momentum in a sense. Traction is correct. That is a point for Javier. Yeah, Johnny, we could have gotten married at the nearest town. We could have taken a train. We could have rented a car. We could have flown. However, we wanted to have the adventure of hitchhiking over 2,000 miles. Well, one way. It was actually 4,000 miles total. But yeah, it took us 4 days to get there and 16 days to get back. Moving on to another round of password. Moving on to another round of... Hey, Rhino, welcome back. Welcome back. Moving on to another round of password. The first person to correctly guess my one-word password, we're going to point on the scoreboard. I'm going to do that one. This is another word for chicken. It's Maddie. Welcome. No need to be sorry, Rhino. Come whenever you can. My stream's not showing up. Oh, I have no clue why. I don't know how else to use this in a sentence. But this is what you would call the meat of chicken. My bad. This is what you would call the meat of chicken. Poultry is correct. It's Maddie. What are we doing today? Maddie, I'm pretty sure you've been back. You've been here before. That's a point for Mike Tones. I am hosting a live game show where I host the games and keep score while you play by commenting. Right now, we're doing password. We have Tribond, Blurt, password, taboo, guess that balloon, Family Feud. We'll probably go to Family Feud in a little bit. All right, moving on. Thanks, Rhino. Moving on to another round of password. The first person to correctly guess my one-word password without any typos will get a point on the scoreboard. If you're playing a game of poker, you need to be able to blank so that way your opponents don't know if you're lying or not. This is another word for lying. Bluff is correct. That is a point for Rhino. Rhino, welcome back and welcome to the scoreboard. Gotta add you to the scoreboard. Of course, I remember you like to be entered in as Rhino. Guys, sorry if I'm not as enthusiastic as I normally am. I'm just feeling a little out of it. It's a long weekend. All right, we're going to move on to another round of password. The first person to correctly guess my one-word password will get a point on the scoreboard. Have a good one, Johnny. Whiskey is normally put in these. This is pretty much the same thing as a drum, except the middle of it is typically out more. It's kind of like almost like an oval shape. It's very close to a drum with a slight difference. Barrel would be correct. First person to say barrel on my screen would be Javier. This is a fun one. Moving on to another round of password. The first person to correctly guess my one-word password will get a point on the scoreboard. No typos are allowed. Capitalization does not matter. You don't see these too often, but they fly, and they look like a really, really, really big balloon. I personally don't think I've ever seen one flying in the air. They're an older one. There's, I think, a famous one crashed in the United States. Blimp is correct. I don't know. I've personally never seen one in person. Weather balloon would be a good option. I just learned that in the U.S., the National Weather, NAOO, or whatever the letters are, they launched like 2 a day. I was just looking into them the other day. Javier got the point for Blimp. Also learned that they launch 2 a day and they have no plans on retrieving them. They just hope that people find them and throw them away or send them back. I thought that was kind of goofy. You've seen the Goodyear blimp? That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. I would like to see a blimp. We are going to play another round of password. The first person to correctly guess my password based off the clues and the hints that I give without any typos, capitalization does not matter. We'll get a point on the scoreboard. This This is what it's called when two things run into each other. Crash is close. Collide is correct. That is a point for Anastasia. Anastasia, you're at 3. Give me 1 second. I do have to check in on something. All right. Just had to check one thing real quick. Anastasia, you're currently at 3 points, which means you just overtook James M at 2. You're currently in the lead for entering the Hall of Champions. I forgot to read the scores after coming back from the break. I'm going to read all the champions first. The former champions. Richard Green, you have 10. Javier, you have 17. Meg, you have 9. Mike Tones, 5. Baronator, 1. Brawny, 6. Robert Hunley, 1. Amongst everybody else competing to enter the Hall of Champions, Alan, you have 1. James M, 2. Rhino, 1. Anastasia in the lead at 3. Moving on to another round of password. First person to correctly guess my one-word password based off of the clues and the hints that I give without any typos will get a point on the scoreboard. This is most typically worn by women. It's a piece of clothing. I believe the Scottish make a version typically worn by men called kilts. Skirt is correct. That's a point for Javier. Said I'm sure you spelled it right. All right, we already did that one. We're going to move on to another round of password. The first person to correctly guess my one-word password based off the clues and the hints that I give without any typos will get a point on the scoreboard. Did you not get it first? Give me a second. I will pop out my chat real quick and just show you. We have Richard, you're right here. Javier's right here, and then Anastasia, then Mike. Oh, he said shirt. And then you, we go back up. There we go. So you did not. All right, continuing on to another round of password. The first person to correctly guess. Yeah, no problem. First person to correctly guess my one-word password will get a point on the scoreboard. This is what gave light to most people before the light bulb was invented. Many people had to do their homework in this, and this is just, for the most part, how you could light a small area with a very, very small flame. Candle is correct. That is a point for Anastasia. Anastasia, you are at 4 points. Moving on to another round of password. Moving on to another round. Hey, Rhino, have a good one. Moving on to another round of password. This is the first person to correctly guess my one-word password without any typos will get a point on the scoreboard. This is another word for a journal. These are usually very personal thoughts that you do not want another person to read. Plastic Fantastic. Diary is correct. That is a point for Anastasia. Anastasia, you're currently at 5 points. Hey, Plastic Fantastic. Welcome to the live game show where I host and keep score while you play by commenting. Awesome, Richard. You don't win much, but we have 3 boards. There's currently not any prizes as of right now in the stream. I hope to one day add them. We have a Hall of Fame currently, where if you earn 1 point on this game show, your name is entered, your username is entered into the Hall of Fame. We currently have about 140 people entered. On this board, you'll see 2 colors, pink and purple. Everybody who's pink is a former champion. Everybody's who's purple is competing to enter the Hall of Champions. The Hall of Fame is anybody who's ever earned a point. The Hall of Champions is who earns the most points on the scoreboard in 1 2-hour stream, who's not already in the Hall of Champions. I keep pointing there because they had it there for so long, but then I hit the text limit. So you can come and have fun or come and compete. I try to stream 6 days a week, multiple times a day. Guys, I'm not too sure if I'm going to do the third stream tonight because I'm just feeling really out of it. I'm just not really feeling the most healthy right now. So I'm going to try to eat after this stream, and then I'm going to play the third stream by ear. I think it might just be, I don't know. I'm not sure. Get rest. I might have to. I think between this stream will end in about a little over half an hour. We have 24 minutes of gameplay left, so the stream will end in about half an hour. Oh no, we have half an hour left. Sorry, it's hard to think right now. We're going to move on to another round of password. The first person to correctly guess my one-word password, based off of the clues and the hints that I give, will get a point on the scoreboard. Typos are not allowed. Capitalization does not matter. The opposite of a lie is this. This is typically, there's some questions you ask where it is blank or false. Mike Tones, have a good night. Truth is correct. That is a point for Anastasia. Anastasia, you're at 6. Prani, welcome back. Yeah, I'm just gonna welcome back. Yeah, I'm gonna play the third stream by ear. I'm not gonna guarantee that I'm gonna get on. I'm just after I get off of here, I'm just gonna eat and then see how I feel after. Excuse you, I said it first. Oh, give me 1 second. Plastic. Give me 1 second. Let me check. The answer was, just to make sure, it was truth. Give me 1 second. Excuse you, I said it first. You said truth first. Let me go up. All right, so I'm going to pop out my screen real quick. So the three keys of this chat are we want to keep it fair, fun, and friendly. Fair, fun, and friendly. So since we're playing on the internet, it might show you on your screen that you sent it first along with a bunch of other people because you guys are all over the world. And since I'm hosting, I get the messages first. So we use my screen as a tiebreaker. However, I can always pull it up and show you because I like to be fair. Give me 1 second. I got to zoom in a little bit more. I need 3 hands to do it, apparently. Excuse you, I said it first. So I'm going to check here. Plastic, fantastic. Here's where you said it. And on my screen, Anastasia said it first. Richard Green said it second. You said it truth. We have a live chat. I know it might not always seem the most fair. However, we have to have some way of breaking ties. So we do go off of my stream. If it shows that you said it first on your screen, that means you sent it very, very close to the same time as one or more people. And, yeah. So I did check. I pulled it up. That is final. We do try to keep it as fair as possible. You can always ask, and I will pull up my screen, though. You guys work together. Moving on to another round of password. Yeah, I might. I don't know. I'll play it by ear. I will play it by ear on if I'm going to get back on or not after. First person to correctly guess my one-word password based off the clues and the hints that I give will get a point on the scoreboard. This is a small nocturnal animal that can move its head, I think, almost all the way around. Makes a weird cooing almost sound. Woohoo! Like that. It's in trees. They're hard to see, but you hear them a lot. Owl is correct. That is a point for Anastasia. You are at 7 points. Hootie hoop. Yuvrov, welcome back, Yuvrov. Moving on to another round. Let's take over the game. Moving on to another round of password. The first person to correctly guess my one-word password based off the clues and the hints that I give will get a point on the scoreboard. This is another word of for acne. Anybody can get it, but it's most commonly teenagers will get these on their face. It's called a blank. Pimple is correct. That is a point for Javier. Welcome, Traveling Patty. And Yuvrav, welcome. Javier, you are at 19 points. Moving on to another round of password. The first person to correctly guess my one-word password will get a point on the scoreboard. Typos are not allowed. Oh, this is cool. Typos are not allowed. Capitalization does not matter. This is like a weird L-ish, U-ish shaped stick that you throw and it comes back to you. Boomerang is correct. That is a point for Javier. Moving on to another round of password. The first person to correctly guess my one-word password based off the clues and the hints that I give will get a point on the scoreboard. Another word for look is blank. There are, when somebody's lost, they'll send a blank and rescue party. Balloon just popped. Search is correct. First person on my screen who said search was Bronny. Bronny, you're at 7 points. All right, we're going to move on from password. We're going to move on to Tribond. The first person to tell me what these three things have in common will get a point on the scoreboard. That was a close one, I agree. That was a close one. First person to tell me what these three things have in common will get a point on the scoreboard. Death Valley, Sahara, Arabian. Desert is correct. That is a point for Meg. Meg, you are at 10 points. Moving on to another round of Tribond. The first person to tell me what these three things have in common will get a point on the scoreboard. The cell block, the pokey, the clink. Jail is correct. They're slang terms for jail. Meg, that is a point for you. You are at 11. Mike Dance is a good guess because I know when there's some really weird ones thrown into the mix that it's usually they're just usually types of dances. That's a really good guess. Moving on to another round of Tribond. The first person to tell me what these three things have in common will get a point on the scoreboard. Peanuts, eggs, jokes. Peanuts, eggs, jokes. Wait, Bronny, did you say that? Oh, Bronny, you did say dance. My apologies. Yeah, I thought Mike said dance. My bad, Bronny. I totally thought Mike said it. Nobody has it yet. We have peanuts, eggs, jokes. You said you were Mike Toads. I thought I read earlier somebody saying you guys are the same people as a joke. You guys can't be one person. I just see you guys in here just destroying at the same time. There's no way. There's no way you could be, you guys, no, there's no way you're one person. The amount of points I've seen you both have, there's no way one person is there on two phones destroying that hard. No. Nobody has it yet. I almost just read it. You got fast fingers. Yeah, both hands. Peanuts, eggs, jokes. Ooh, this is a tricky one. Peanuts, eggs, jokes. I'm going to put 10 seconds on the clock. Bronny, did you say you are? Truth be told, I am Mike Toll. He's probably sitting next to you, like, shaking his head. It's like egg and evil egg all over again. A choke allergy would suck. Oh my god, it would. All right, nobody has it. I'm going to say it. Peanuts, eggs, jokes. Things people crack. Things people crack, put and done. Peanuts, eggs, jokes. Things people crack. That was a tricky one. I would agree that that's the hardest one. Yeah, guys, I think this is definitely going to be my last stream. I'm feeling really out of it. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to take a break after this one. So this will be my last stream of the night. Moving on to another round of Tribon. The first person to tell me what these three things have in common. We're going to point on the scoreboard. We have ice, Rubik's, sugar. Ice, Rubik's, sugar. Cube is correct. That is a point for Dovid. Dovid, welcome back and welcome to the scoreboard as a former returning champion. You are entering as red. I'm hoping to be streaming again tomorrow. We have about 20-something minutes left in this one. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to do a third one tonight. This will just be the last one. I'm just not feeling it, so it would be a good idea to rest. And once I start a stream, I'm not going to stop halfway through unless my internet cuts out. So, Dovid, it is hard to get on the board, and it's getting harder and harder. But Dovid, you are in the Hall of Champions, though. So, if you guys know, every week it is definitely, even almost every day, it's getting harder and harder to enter the Hall of Champions. Yeah, I will definitely be getting some rest after this live stream. But I will be back on tomorrow for probably about 2. Moving on to another round of Tribon. The first person to tell me what these three things have in common will get a point on the scoreboard. Aunt, son, cousin. Hello, Aiden. Welcome to this live game show where I host and keep score. You get a point on the scoreboard if you were the first person to tell me the correct answer. Family is correct. Relatives or family members. This is a live game show where I host and keep score. You play by commenting. If you're the first person to tell me the correct answer, you get a point. Who said it first? It would be Mike Tones. Or Bronny, apparently. Mike Tones, I don't know if you're just getting back. Bronny said you guys were the same person. Let's go, Mikey. Moving on to another round of Tribon. First person to tell me what these three things have in common will get a point on the scoreboard. We have flag, telephone, and totem. You guys screw me so much. Brody, I'm glad you think this is fun. You've Rob, I know you and Javier are not the same. Poll is correct, Meg, you get the point. Good job, Meg. You are at 12. I know, I'm over. What the heck? This one confused me for a second. Tell him, Javier. Oh, man. Moving on to another round of Tribon. The first person tell me what these three things have in common. We'll get a point on this scoreboard. We have a doctor's office, a snake, a fish. Javier's actually just a goat in the picture. Yeah. First person tell me what these three things have in common. We'll get a point on the scoreboard. We have a doctor's office, a snake, a fish. Scale. I was surprised. Yeah, that was good. That was good. Bronny and Mike were the first person to say scale. Bronny said scale. Do I just give a half a point to both of your guys' names? Or the one? What do I do? Bronny was the first person to say it. So that is half a point for Bronny and half a point for Mike Tone, since they're the same person and I haven't, not sure what's going on. Continuing on to another round of Tribon. The first person to tell me what these three things have in common will get a point on the scoreboard. Same room, half point. I wrote half point for next to both of your guys' names. Moving on to Tribon. First person to tell me what these three things have in common. We'll get a point on the scoreboard. A matador, Batman, Superman. I did write half point too. I don't even know if you guys can see it, but I did write half point. A matador, Batman, Superman, cape would be correct. Plastic Fantastic. I have to add your name to the scoreboard. I do have to make sure that I... Welcome to the scoreboard. First of all, Plastic Fantastic. You have to make sure I spell your name right. And Plastic Fantastic, welcome to the game show. It does look like this is your very first time earning a point on this game show, which means welcome to the Hall of Champions. Or, I'm sorry, Hall of Fame. You're not, nope, you got to earn the Hall of Champions. And still, you got to earn the Hall of Fame. That was a funny mess up. You have to earn 1 point to enter the Hall of Fame. Once you enter, you never leave. There's about 140-something people who have entered the Hall of Fame. Your name will be added after. If you get the most points on the scoreboard and you're not already in the Hall of Champions, you will enter the Hall of Champions. All this because of a typo. So, Plastic Fantastic, welcome. We're going to move on to another round of Tribon. The first person to tell me what these three things have in common will get a point on the scoreboard. A duffel bag, a knapsack, a suitcase. Bag is correct. Luggage, baggage is also either or. Bag is correct. I'll give the point to Meg. Where are you on here, Meg? You're at 13. Hey, Count Rhythm, welcome back. This is going to be the last game show of the night. But welcome back. Most recent introduction to the Hall of Champions. All right, we're playing Tribon. The first person to tell me what these three things have in common. I'll get a point on the scoreboard. We have clothes, picnic, waste. Clothes, picnic, waste. Basket is correct. That is a point for Meg. Moving on to another round of Tribon. The first person to tell me what these three things have in common, I'll get a point on the scoreboard. Brontosaurus, pterodactyl, stegosaurus. Dinosaur would be correct. That is a point for Count Rhythm. Count Rhythm, welcome to the scoreboard. Welcome back. And since you are now a former champion, you're being entered in as pink. Moving on to another round of Tribon. First person to tell me what these three things have in common, we'll get a point on the scoreboard. We have New York City, Gotham City, Metropolis. City is correct. That is a point for Yevrov. Yevrov, welcome back. They are technically cities where superheroes live, but cities is good enough. Yevrov, welcome back and welcome to the scoreboard. Yevrov, you have 1 point. I'm sorry, I should speak a little louder. Yevrov, you have 1 point. Alan 1, James M 2, Rhino 1, Plastic Fantastic 1, Anastasia, you're in the lead with 7 points for entering the Hall of Champions. You say duh. I haven't watched TV in like 8 years. So, I mean, I think it was Luke Duduke was making fun of me the other day because I said I can't even remember what it was. I said I'm not a Spider-Man fan. Like, I don't watch DC movies or whatever it was. Or I think I said something like I don't watch Batman or Marvel movies. He was ripping me on that one. Comment takes 3 seconds to pop up on Mike's phone. Wow. Moving on to another round of Tribal. The first person to tell me what these three things have in common. We'll get a point on the scoreboard. That's interesting. I'm going to watch the stream on this other phone and see if the answers are different. They shouldn't be. They haven't been so far, but I'm going to see what's going on. Technical difficulty. Give me 1 second. Good. I'm glad you are having fun. First person to tell me what these three things have in common. I'm going to point to the scoreboard. We have a duo, a couple, a pair. Two is correct. That is a point for Count. Count, you're at 2. Houston, we have a problem. We do. I'm going to keep this right here so then I can watch both. Make sure that the chats are matched. They should be. So far they are. Hey, Fireworks, welcome back. We have about 6 minutes left in the game show. This will be the final one of the night, so I can rest up because I'm not feeling very good. Moving on to another round of Tribal. The first person to tell me what these three things have in common. We'll go to points on the scoreboard. We have school, flock, army. Group is close enough. I'll give the point to Meg. They were groups of animals. Meg, you are at 15. I can't always pull up my thing. That's interesting. I wonder why. All right, I have no clue, so we're going to move on. Moving on to another round of, hopefully it'll be better tomorrow. I should be doing 2 streams tomorrow. Moving on to another round of Tribe on the first person to tell me what these three things have in common. Whew, we'll get a point on the scoreboard. We're skipping that one. Eyeglasses, paintings, bicycles. Just dragging it. Yeah, I'm also looking at the analytics. It looks like we've had a spike in viewership in the last several minutes, and so it's possible that did it as well. I'm going to repeat it. Eyeglasses, paintings, bicycles. Don't encourage it. This one's kind of a tricky one. Frame is correct. That is a point for Richard Green. Richard's just throwing you guys off so you can get the points. We're going on to another round of Tribon. The first person tell me what these three things have in common. I'll get a point on the scoreboard. Chronograph, hourglass, sundial. Hey, Christina, welcome back. My night's going all right. I'm a little sick. I was going to do 3 streams. I'm only going to be doing 2. This one's going to be ending. This is the kind of the last stretch of the second stream. We only have about 3 minutes left. Time is correct. That is another point for Meg. I will be back on tomorrow, hopefully. Time is correct. Meg, you're going to get that point. Meg, you're at 16 points. How's your night going, though, Christina? Oh, Count did get that. Oh, actually, I'm going to give that to Count. I didn't even see that he had said timekeepers because I saw so many people say time. Yep, no, I am actually going to give that to Count. Meg, sorry, I'm taking away your point. I'm going to move that to Count to be fair. I do like to be fair. I didn't even see that. Thank you. I do make mistakes, so I appreciate you guys helping. Count, you're at 3. Yes, FFF, fair, fun, and friendlier. Awesome, Christina. This is the end of this show, basically, but we will be doing hopefully 2 tomorrow. I can't guarantee that I'll be doing 2 tomorrow with how I'm feeling right now. Yeah, it's tricky with the internet. On a lot of your guys' screens, it'll show you guys that it first have it first on your screen. That's why I'm willing to pull up my screen at any time. Actually, we're gonna do 2 rounds of blurt, and then we're gonna end it after that. And then I'll announce the winner. Blurt is where I read the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person to tell me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out to the players. The first definition: a container or shelter made by birds for holding their eggs and young. The second definition: a female deer. Nest is correct. That is a point for Count. Doe is correct. That is another point for Count. Count, you're at 5. Moving on to one more round of blurt, where I read the dictionary definition for 2 words. The first person to tell me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out to the players. The first definition: one of the 4 divisions of the year. The second definition: a small platform located near the top of a ship's mast used by sailors for seeing long distances. This is a hyphenated word. Season is correct. This point for Javier. Crow's nest is correct. That is point for plastic. Fantastic. Where are you? Plastic. Fantastic. Right there. You're at 2 points. All right. We have time for one more round. So we're going to play 1 round of password. The first person to correctly guess my 1-word password based off the clues and the hints that I give will get a point on the scoreboard. I'm pretty sure this is a bird. It lives in the Arctics. It can't fly. They waddle goofy. If you put a rock down, it'll sit on it and think it's an egg. Penguin is correct. It's a true story about the rock. Has a 0.4 count rhythm. Well, at least I've heard that about the rock. I don't know if it's true. I've never been around a penguin. All right. All right, guys, that is officially the end. I'm going to go ahead and read the scores. Amongst the champions, Richard Green, you have 11. Javier, you have 21. Meg, you have 15. Mike Tones, you have 6.5. Baronator, you have 1. Brawny, you have 7.5. Robert Hunley, you have 1. David, you have 1. Count Rhythm, you have 5. And now, amongst everybody else competing into the Hall of Champions, Alan 1, James M 2, Rhino 1, Plastic Fantastic 3. And now, I would like to announce, coming in first place with 7 points, the new champion would be Anastasia. Congratulations, Anastasia. You are now a champion. Congratulations, Anastasia. Looking forward to the hitchhiking stream. One day. Probably be, might not be till next year. Of course, I don't know. Thank you, Christina. I'm gonna go back a little bit, catch up. I'm glad you like the soup they suggested. Glad you guys liked the stream. You were kind of ill yourself? Sorry, that's never fun. That's never fun. Yeah, I've been slowly getting worse over these, especially this stream. I've been slowly getting worse. I really wanted to do a third stream tonight. Make Mondays suck a little bit less for people all over the world, but not feeling it. And I've noticed how much worse I've gotten over the last hour and a half, so I want to be careful. And I don't want to go to, I would be done 3 hours from now. So I'm definitely going to take a break. Yeah, I was with a lot of family, and there's a lot of kids and stuff. I know kids can pass a lot of illnesses as well, so it's possible I caught something there. Yeah, it was good. A lot of people are getting a bit sick near you. It's also around a lot of people, so it's possible I got something. Hey, Baronator, welcome back, Baronator. I don't know who just subscribed, but I'm giving the fireworks for you. You gotta pop the balloons, so I just pop them on stream. Baronator, I'm feeling pretty sick, so I'm actually not going to be doing a third stream tonight. Sorry about that. I know earlier I said I would, but good. It's good to rest. It's good to rest. I really want to. I just don't think I don't think it'd be a good idea. Resting is one of the hardest things to do for me. I could do another stream, but it's just probably not a good idea. So I'm just gonna not. Yeah, hopefully I'm better by tomorrow. I think tomorrow I'm only gonna commit to one. Well, I'm not committing to anything right now because I do have to see how I feel in the morning as well. But nice baldy head cut. Thanks. I like to shave my head. Like to buzz my head just because it's a lot easier. I get to do it at home. Thank you, Richard. Thanks, Baronator. Yeah, there's so many balloons to pop. That was a lot of balloons today. We had quite a bit of a longer few sessions. We do need to listen to our bodies. I agree. I have not been drinking enough water today. Wow, that was a lot of balloons this stream. I'm still popping. Yeah, I do too, Baronator. I also don't. I just don't want to rest. I'm going to. Gotta be well rested for tomorrow. Good to see you guys. Thanks again for playing and having another fun game night. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream, hop off, and eat some food. Or something. Oh, wow, more to pop. Oh, my God, look at that. Oh. Thank you guys again. It's 10 in the morning for you? Wow. And congratulations again to Anastasia. I will be adding you to the Hall of Champions. Have a good night, guys.